Hello, everyone. Welcome back to part 2 of the KHANTENT Seasonal Anime Podcast. Say it with me, lads, loud and proud. KHANTENT. I'm holding back the tears. It's me, best guy ever, as always. And we got Digi, of course.
Hey, what up?
Anime, and it's time. You've been begging for it. It's finally happening. Only it also happened before. But the legendary crossover of KHANTENT with world famous channel Jack and Core. There they are.
It's finally happening for the second time. Let's go.
For the second time. I don't think that channel existed when we did the first.
It didn't. No.
Yeah.
It was created like a couple months after.
That was the prequel.
Neither did this channel, or did it exist when we did it? No, it did. Okay,
Yeah.
That's right.
No, thanks for having us on.
Well, of course, you know me and Digi, but Jack and Core have their own channels as well. There will be links. They do all kinds of stuff. Jack just became world famous with a big fucking video shitting on the Trash Face podcast in a devastating and legally binding way that I love.
It was very legally binding. Very much so.
Good work. And Core, defend yourself. Defend your existence.
I occasionally make videos on my YouTube channel. It's not a very common
What a
thing.
novelty that is. All right. And we're back. Second half of the goddamn anime season. Fall 2020. You know what it is, boys and girls. Let's just jump right into it. All right. Who wants to talk about Tonikaku Kawaii? Claim it. Someone, please.
I was very disappointed. by this one.
Who wants to describe it?
Jack, describe the plot. Oh, no, Digi wants to?
No,
Okay,
I don't want to.
No one wants to describe it. I'll do it. No, because this is actually cool. So in the land of Japan, birth rates are plummeting. We have to do something to stop our country, me inclusive, from going out of existence. So we need to make films that fetishize and propagandize the youth into thinking that marriage is the way to go. And so far, it's 100% effective on me. I mean, there's just a boy. He literally he's named NASA. It's like a kanji joke that I don't understand, but I'll pretend to. And he sees a girl. There's some connection with like the Kaguya myth that I also don't understand, even though I am native-born Japanese. And there's a girl who's beautiful, and he rushes to go talk to her, and he fucking dies almost, but she saves him somehow that I don't quite understand. She may be an alien. She might be magic. And then as he picks himself up from the bloody mass, as he still got mostly hit by the truck, he stumbles his ass down the road to go confess to the girl immediately and say, date me. And she says, okay, only if you marry me. And he says yes, before collapsing into a several-month-long coma.
Brain trauma.
After which he wakes up.
Legally binding.
Yep.
I would assume
and,
that she just
wakes up and there it is.
Princess Kaguya? Like,
probably.
She's always looking at the moon.
Yeah.
I like the part where because he's named NASA and he's insecure about it, he studies really hard and he's like improving himself. He's like becoming like a good guy. He's gonna get into a good college. And then she comes and completely destroys all his life ambition. He's working at a fucking convenience store. Like, as women are known to do.
Yeah, but the people watching this show.
It's my choice, though.
The people watching this show are the people without
ambition.
So, we gotta.
It is true.
You know what? Okay.
I just want to point out that his goal is to have his name be bigger than NASA, so that people will think that it's the ripoff of him and not the other way around.
Well, once we prove that the moon landing was fake and that the Earth is flat, I mean, it's going to be an easy task to overcome.
Easy.
They're going to be
it'll be easy to prove that. It'll be like you went to the moon and you didn't see Kaguya Hime and all the other Japanese shit that's
there
up there,
The rabbits hitting the mochi and shit.
Yeah.
This is another show. Okay, honestly, the show that this most reminded me of was Dogiza or whatever, like the begging for pussy show that we talked about.
Yes, this show is
last
simping
episode.
The show, absolutely.
But see, the thing is, just like in that show, the simping is of such a high caliber in this show, and I actually kind of respect the effort being put into it, that I kind of admire the main character. Because, these days, you don't see a lot of instant commitment. You don't see people willing to cash in their chips all in. And in a certain way, I find it a little bit heartwarming. That's how I feel.
I
about
find
it.
it a little bit terrifying. I find it like because I mean, this guy is just putting like all of his identity chips in one basket here. You know,
Gave up on all of his ambition. Like, come on. No,
well, it's just like a, self-destructive levels of doing something for someone else who maybe does need his help. It's hard for us to know at this point what she's really up to or going. Like, she took the force of a truck, so
yeah, it seemed okay.
There seemed to be people after her. I guess I don't really know where this show's gonna go. But
I think it's also worth noting that they literally do not know each other. Like, he met her for like 30 minutes and decided that this was what he was committing his entire life.
She's looking for a sugar daddy.
I mean, she's
no
the
doubt.
one who says to him after like not very long, if you want to like hang out with me at all, we got to get married. Like, that's the level of commitment I need from you. And so
it's a high value woman.
I hope that the point of this show will be that, like, through being with her, the way that she treats him makes him stop being quite so much like this, Like, maybe she's going into it like, I know this guy is so committed, I could ask him to marry me, and he's definitely going to be down for everything, but I'm going to make sure he's not this much of a fucking, I don't know, soy boy.
Well, I mean, okay, this show is honestly kind of interesting. It's like if one of my boys, if one of my N-words, my Nate heads came to me in the street and said, Nate, should I marry this girl who proposed to me just now and like won't let me slip a finger in unless I get married to her? I would absolutely say no, don't do that. Yeah. But as just a fun, lighthearted romp of propaganda to convince people to get married, I don't know why, but I just kind of liked this and thought it was cute, just as a little fucking story that is it's not about the best life decisions. It's about an impulsive, stupid young man who got himself in a sticky situation, and now what else can he do but make good out of the wedded bliss that he is legally bound to now. And in that sense, there's something to be gotten out of that.
I guess I have to be sold more on marriage as this. Not because I don't believe in the potential of this couple, but because I have to actually see it eventuate. Because they're not in a good state right now, in my mind. Him just being, just doing literally whatever the fuck she says to the extent of like throwing himself in front of bullets and shit is like, well, not to say that he shouldn't be willing to throw himself in front of a bullet if he like loves this girl so much.
But see, that's the thing. She's not manipulating him. He's doing it all just because he wants to, and that that isn't good for his future. But it doesn't make her bad or manipulative.
I just don't see any of the self-criticalness in this show that I would want from that kind of story. Like everything about the narrative seems to be selling that this is like they're not really going to do anything more with it. This is like, marriage is good and cool, y'all. Young people getting married, let's go. PogChamp. Like,
did you guys watch any of the further episodes?
No. We only watched the first one.
No, I couldn't stand this shit. I was the last like 5.
Well, see,
the last like 5 minutes,
Jack,
I was like, I don't want this. I don't want this anymore.
I just wanted to know like which way they were gonna go with it, and I think I watched 2 and maybe like skipped to the 3rd episode if that was that. I might be remembering wrong, but like they're just like doing the like baby steps. Maybe we'll handhold briefly. We'll all blush about it, which is just very innocent and cute. So I don't know. For what it is, no one's more red-pilled than me on the planet. I'll fight you, Jack, and I'll take it to the streets.
Well, Nate, you know what show I think you would actually at least enjoy the first episode of that is similar to this, but maybe has the edge that Cora's looking for is Hayate the Combat Butler.
Okay.
Because that show is very similar in that the main character, who even kind of looks like this guy, like just throws himself into like violence and in front of things to protect people, but he's extremely cynical about it. Like he recognizes that, like the rich girl who he's protecting throughout the show, who's like a tsundere and kind of a just a hikikomori social idiot. And so, like, Hayate's perspective on her is that she's an idiot. He's protecting her at all costs, but he's not, like, fawning over her all the time because...
It's like a comedy show mostly, right?
Yeah. And so, like...
It's a good vehicle for it.
Well, this is also a romantic comedy show, I would say, right? I was really
but
struggling to get a read on exactly
Comedy in quotations. Comedy in quotations, for sure. Asterisk. I don't know.
of a certain style.
Multiple.
I mean, this is definitely in the propaganda category.
Very much.
No doubt about
Very
it.
much
No,
so.
that scene where like
This was
they're-
Abe's last wish as he died and left office, that this show be produced. Please reproduce.
No, it was like
Please.
the realization when they're going to get the marriage registration, and then he's talking there. And the main character is like, "Wow, I didn't know it was this easy." I was like, "Oh, now I
I
understand."
didn't even think about that, but
It's so easy.
That's when it
And meanwhile,
clicks.
the song starts playing in the background. She take my money.
The guy was so excited to do it for them too. Like this
Yeah.
is two 16-year-olds who met 30 minutes ago walking in,
He's
and the guy's
18
like,
now.
"Oh,
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how great it is to get married even at your age." You know, and like they're there at like 3 in the morning. It's open 24/7. By the
love
way.
Anytime's right to get married. You know, it's perfect.
She's been thinking about this. Yeah, no doubt. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it will go into like the wow. Maybe I was fucking manipulated.
They
into this
literally
shit by her.
reassure you. Look, you can bring your parents' signed permission. You don't have to even bring your parents, as long as you have a permission slip, which the guy doesn't even open or check. He treats it like an ID he's ignoring at a bar. Like, you know.
Oh, remember when they're walking there? I mean, this is like my favorite moment. He thinks to himself for 1 second, like, is this a scam? And then he just looks at her and he's like, I don't fucking care. I'll deal with it if it comes later. That was hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. It hit all. It checked all the boxes. Like, he actively thought, is this a scam, as a human should? And then he just said, I just don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway. So I don't know. Normally this would like annoy me, but I was satisfied with that. I'm not saying it's great or anything, but it didn't make me actively angry.
Yeah, I don't think I was actively angry. I just like didn't believe any of this relationship at all, just because like it's so surface level and nothing really was happening between them. I just think he's horny. He needs to get a nut out. You know,
you're absolutely right.
Maybe they'll fuck.
Reevaluate this post nut, dog, and see how you feel.
He'll have some clarity. And then we'll be good.
Yeah.
So strong recommendations all around.
Yep,
10 out of 10.
exactly. I loved it. I
Yeah,
loved it.
There you go.
All right.
All right, next show. Let's move right along. Oh boy, what a powerhouse! Noblesse. Core, why don't you tell us about Noblesse?
God. So there's
you can remember
a character, and he's like experimented on or something. God, the story in this fucking one was
It's not good.
incomprehensible. And the thing is, I just did not care. Like after the first, I watched the whole first episode, but like around 5 minutes in, I realized I just like my brain just stopped processing the subtitles. Like it's so bland. Like the characters like have no energy whatsoever.
I get to a certain level of clear, like, Fujo shit that I just completely check out, and this was way beyond my capacity of that shit.
I saw
and
the
I watched
designs.
the show. I don't know. It's actually, this was kind of cute in that, like, there was moments I thought, oh, that's a little sweet, that, like, the main vampire, Raziel, who I'm reading from the description, is 820 years old, plus some time.
I just read that description, and I was looking at the picture of the show, and I'm like, I remember watching this, but I don't remember any of these things being true about this show. Like, I know I saw these characters. I kind of remember what they did.
These details.
Yeah.
They do go into detail. It's just like the most boring dialogue of all time. They're like in a house or something, and then they're droning on about the plot, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. It
gets there in a weird way too. Yeah, they choose to do like pure exposition dumps like before anything has happened with any of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fucking know. This was a nightmare.
I would describe this show as like
good,
a dramedy.
original.
Like it bounces between just being like a serious like Fujo show again, like about Black Butler, ask another one that's kind of comparable to that type of thing, but like this one has like that show spurts of like, I don't know, manic humor, but it's not that over the top, or like it's like almost like you don't even register that it's trying to be funny until the joke's over, and you're like, oh
yeah,
like that was a
you know what it reminded me of? I mean,
part.
the main character, I don't even know if he is the fucking main character. I think the gray hair guy's the main character. Raziel, black hair leader man. He actually reminds me a lot. I watched just for fun, I watched all the Twilight movies not too long ago to like see what the fucking fuss is about. This is like the exact same premise, because whatever the Edward was the main one.
Yeah.
He's like a several 100-year-old vampire or whatever, and he's just in high school because that's how he gets by and how he can like be incognito. But every moment he's like, I'm with fucking children and this fucking sucks and it's really shitty. And I got to imagine this guy is in a similar boat. But then again, he also seems to delight in the wonders of like smartphones and I don't know, being
modern
with
society,
modern humans,
youth. I don't know. I'm looking at these.
Pretty great, right?
I'm looking at these character names. The gray hair guy's name's Frankenstein. So is this like
no? That was the blonde hair guy. That's like the number 2 to his name is Frankenstein.
Why is his name Frankenstein? Is this like
is he Frankenstein of ancient legend of fiction?
That would be interesting. Maybe
they did make mutants or something. Maybe he was involved in that.
Oh yeah. You know I guess they're artificial.
We're spending
humans.
way more time on this plot than they did in the show or deserves.
Apparently, well, I guess it's worth noting that there's also like some sort of fucking sequel episode or prequel that came out like a year ago or some shit, like an OVA that apparently like explains a lot of the plot that makes this make more sense. That just they did not communicate at all. I
heard some people were actually like
beforehand.
Weren't people looking forward to this a little bit? And it's production IG. I mean, you'd kind of expect something decent, but
people said the manhwa was good, but
season.
I'm just convinced that all manhwa is shit, and I will never believe anyone that says the manhwa adaptation is
Have
good.
you ever read Veritas? Veritas was good, or Shin Angyo Onchi. Shin Angyo Onchi is a good manhwa that I have read and was based and did end.
It was pretty good.
Check that one out. All right. Yeah, it's shit. Just like all Korean media.
True. Preach
into
it.
the trash.
I mean, I remember there being moments in this that there was one moment I was perplexed by because the main character is saying like, humans said if I had this thing I could do more. I wouldn't get lost and detours would be acceptable. And they also play games on it. And then the guy goes, oh, you're talking about a cell phone. And it was funny because it was so like undersold the way that this joke, like the impact of the punchline of this joke. I wasn't sure if the guy had misinterpreted him or not. Like if the joke was that he wants a cell phone, or if the joke was that this guy had interpreted the weird way that he was describing something as a cell phone. Just because it seemed like the gag was going to continue going, because like there wasn't a strong like punchline moment, and then it cuts to like he has a phone, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, he was talking about a cell phone. Cool.
That moment was kind of interesting to observe happen and not land the joke properly. I admit it. It's true.
So it's like I think that would have been really funny if I had like not been so confused about like, wait, was that the punchline? Like, where was the fucking dramatic, like, I don't know, lines or sounds, something to make it sell as a punchline, right, not make you think the scene's continuing to go. But I thought it was like the fish out of water, I have a cell phone thing, I guess is fun. I don't remember anything about this character other than that. Also, there's a scene where a guy with a cast is like getting just punched in his cast over and over again.
And he was fine. He was fine afterwards. Like they had that whole fight scene and the guy was getting
probably
abused.
Healed him.
I guess the cast was just so thick that it didn't re-break his arm, or maybe he doesn't care.
I guess
he just has a really strong arm.
He's a vampire. Maybe he's a vampire also.
Well, why would he need a
setting
cast?
up that guy as like as someone strong? I don't
He's just posing as a guy with a cast for some reason.
Guys, we've gone way too long on this show. This is unbelievable that we're still talking about this.
It's a popular show,
it's
so
bad.
we had to say something about it.
Yeah, we had to say something. I loved it.
You're right.
It was great. I love manhwa.
Yeah, that's what I
love manhwa.
10 out of 10.
All right.
Digi, tell us about your favorite show. Kimi to Boku no Saigo no Senjou Aruiwa Sekai ga Hajimaru Seisen.
Damn.
I think this was actually possibly one of the shows I just skipped through. Like,
I didn't watch it.
I don't know if I watched this one.
I did watch it. You fucking hacks. You fucking amateurs. I'll tell you what it's about. This is the most basic possible, like, quote, War bad, no reason to keep doing it. We just need to understand each other. Story of all time. They set up, there's a world, two sides are fighting. There's a girl from one side. There's like a witch of ice. There's like a knight on the other side. They're both really strong members of like their groups or whatever. They meet and they fight, and they both realize that they don't want the war. And I just skipped ahead through like 2 or 3 episodes. I mean, the witch girl has big tits, so that was enjoyable. Yeah. I actually thought the designs were like kind of cute, kind of decent. But
she looks like light novel girl. Yeah. Okay.
She looks just like light, and I like light novel girl.
No, light novel girl is hot, so like I might give it some points there.
I did watch this. I had to go click on the episode and scroll through it to remember those fucking outfits.
Right.
I just remember this looked really jank. It felt like there was like one long scene of all the characters sitting in a truck having a conversation for like 6 minutes, and so I started skipping through it. And then immediately after that, they stand outside of a building and continue having a conversation. And then they get back in the truck and have another several-minute conversation in the truck. And skipping through all of that and seeing how long it lasted, I went, there's no fucking way I'm watching this. There's just no way.
Also, I skipped around as well. It, amazingly, so like I said, there's like 2 warring sides or whatever. The guy and the girl, in episode 1, they fight and stuff. In episode 2, they randomly, at like a art gallery or whatever, in Neutral City. It's called Neutral City.
This show sounds amazing.
It is amazing. They just happen to bump into each other. And I don't know, like it's kind of endearing that the girl like goes home and starts like watching, like fucking romance play stuff. No, they're in. She's in an opera box, and behind her, someone gives her a handkerchief, and it's a play about like a woman falling in love with a soldier, like from the opposite side of a war. Could there be a connection? And at the end of the play, shockingly, the person who gave her the handkerchief just is this legendary knight. He just was, and they go into it later. They go into the second episode like he got a ticket from his friend, as if that's a decent enough explanation for the fact that he would be at this exact show that she was at. I don't know. Maybe I missed some important details. But anyway, I don't know. They're going to have sex. They're going they're going to bleed each other dry of all fluids. I have no doubt about it.
I think I looked at the poster and I was just disgusted, and like my whole body.
Like the poster plus the title, it looked like the worst thing that has ever been made.
Yeah, Silverlink. It's like too many Silverlink. Too many things that are like drawing me away from it.
I always, whenever I go, I look at like some things they've done. I mean, they did Watamote. Hey, I mean, everybody loves Watamote, but they also made other things that aren't.
10 fucking years ago, my
niece. Yeah, I think you're right. All right, that's all it is. Just don't watch it. Just no.
Yeah, all right. You don't need to do that. The next one was Akudama Drive, and this one was about looking awesome and having people fight a whole lot. And I gotta say, in terms of shows that look awesome and people fight a whole lot, this was really enjoyable, and I would love to keep staring at it. In terms of what happens, like there's a group of people, I guess they're all sort of like heroic criminals and hackers
something
and
like
shit,
that.
And they gather. This is like just like how did they end up in one place kind of episode.
Well, they're gathered by a force that it's the cat at the end was like gave them all the contracts to assemble in some way. To what end?
I mean, that's what this like the plot or whatever is incidental. Like it literally is just like a music video introducing all the characters, like name tag on screen. Like one guy's just introduced beating up hundreds of robots. It's just like, I'm on top of a pile of robots. I'm a bad dude. Send all your fucking robots. I'll beat them all up. You know what? At first he's saying that because he's like, don't fuck with me. You'd have to send 1 million robots. And then they send 1 million robots, and he's like, well, I guess this is going to be a good time. And then he goes and beats them all up. This is like the level of characterization. The nurse lady, just injures people so she can stitch them up, it seems.
Not every time. She'll fix your heart for fun if she catches you in a heart attack, but she will murder people who try to stop her, while she's doing that. She could also
seemingly like bring herself and friends back from near death instantly. So
Yeah, true.
So I'm thinking
don't know
that
why.
This,
Cool.
I guess what was
It is cyberpunk, so
what was both exciting and concerning to me about this show was that the scale of the action was so high right off the bat that I was like, where could this even go? Like, how can you escalate this in a way that will keep it exciting when we already are watching these characters like level city blocks in like the first fucking episode, you know? Like,
yeah.
I guess.
Well, this isn't a show about.
Out.
Yeah, this isn't a show about like watching characters progress and grow. It's just about like putting these particular characters in a fucking situation where they'll be able to do cool stuff. Like at the end when fucking Cutthroat is released, and boy does he start fucking cutting throats. He just lives up to his name immediately.
What a
that
name.
was
What a
awesome.
name.
I fucking very, very literal. I also liked like the fact that the main girl is just like ordinary person is like her title, as played by Twilight Sparkle, which I enjoyed.
This is written by the
she was cute
guy, right?
Is it? I wouldn't be surprised.
What looks like Danganronpa? I was because I haven't seen this one. It looks like the Danganronpa character designs, but like better. Because I don't know the Danganronpa.
I mean, I never liked the way Danganronpa looks. I love the way the characters. In this show
no. This is like a refined version. No, I hate the Danganronpa character designs. But no, this looks pretty cool. I'll give this one a watch.
It's fine. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith. It's like an anime original story here, just to justify characters doing cool stuff in a cyberpunk setting. And I do like some of the ideas that are there. The fact, like, they're obviously, you know, classic cyberpunkiness of like this. If you make one little infringement, you'll be like labeled a fucking criminal, and you'll be like, you know, strung along in the system. And because the point of this, I read the synopsis or whatever. It's to show cool rebellious characters doing cool rebellious things.
I see.
Yeah.
And
they're
sure doing it.
I just saw here on the Wikipedia page where it's like, influences include Tarantino's works, as well as 1980 feature Blade Runner. And I'm like, hold on.
Why is that on the Wikipedia page?
I have no idea why. It's very
influences?
strange. But, like, okay. Insofar as the show is set in a cyberpunk world with billboards and shit, and there are cool characters who are morally gray heroes, that is the only similarity in any way to either of those things.
I mean, yeah, they said Blade Runner, right? It is cyberpunk. Okay, you win. It is. That's
all
true.
you need.
But
whatever, man. I've got low expectations, but it wasn't terrible to watch.
This was the closest thing I've seen to like a legitimate turn your brain off show. Like, I didn't retain much information. I just looked at pretty colors and watched people fight, and it was a decent sensory experience. You know, it kept my ADHD plugged for 20 minutes.
Barely. All right, next episode of Thing, Adachi to Shimamura. Who likes lesbians?
Oh, it's the gay one. Oh, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, it was gay. This is the gayest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, I really like
for
this
sure.
one.
Court, tell us about it then.
So it sets us up with a sort of some sort of relationship between these the two main girls whose names I cannot remember because I cannot.
If only there was a hint somewhere.
I legitimately just recalled that the title is their names.
But
like
yeah,
there's
there
this,
you go.
Throughout the first episode, there's like
These are your critical reviewers, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
There you go.
Quite a man. Throughout the first episode, there's this whole thing of them like playing ping pong, and there's like an implied kind of romantic desire that is like not being fulfilled, and particularly the like longer haired girl seems to be more social and not really wanting her friends to know about her relationship with this more sort of loner outcast-y type, and that is sort of just like what is most of the first episode. Really, there's a lot of fucking metaphorical language and, you know, abstract visual shit going on, but I thought it was really good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, like not a lot of plot happens, but that's not the kind of show. It's a slow burn for personality, and I mean,
it's just setting up like the character dynamics and everything.
Yeah. I thought it was, I don't know, like considering that it is like a slower, like learn about these characters' personalities and like watch them get together or whatever. I don't know. I thought their backstories were Well, they only got into one like a little bit or whatever, but watching like the dramatic tension I felt of like seeing the one character with two other people like snub one. This was episode 1, right? Because I watched skip through episode 2.
Yeah.
She just like walks by and like compared to like all the action in like Akudama Drive or whatever, sure, it raised my blood pressure like a little bit in a good way. But this like feeling the tension of like, oh, she didn't acknowledge the girl when she walked by. I don't know. It just like it felt like more value was extracted out of a character dynamic of this sort than just all the raw action you could throw at me. So it was kind of good. You know, I destroyed degeneracy in all forms, including this unholy union.
Yeah.
But for what it is, it's enjoyable.
No, I really love the character designs in this one. I don't know. I was just looking at it.
She's a cutie.
They're both cuties. It's the character designer who did the most recent Pokemon movie, the one that was Studio Wit, I believe, which like changed up a bit. I like those designs a lot, but I don't know. That's what really stuck out to me. I enjoyed it overall. The music was pretty great. It was some orchestral stuff going on there. I was vibing, but I have too much degeneracy this season. Like Assault Lily is like enough for me. So I was like, I'll keep to myself. Maybe I'll watch it in the future. But it was pretty solid.
Oh, and also there is like an alien or something in like a space suit that's just around, and in episode 2 has like a more prominent role.
Oh,
I don't know where that's going.
I thought that was just metaphorical. I didn't think that was actually there. I don't know.
Nah, like Shimamura like hangs out with him at like a fishing hole for a while.
Weird.
He's there.
What the so it's a character.
He says he's like here to get his friend back, which I thought was gonna be Adachi, but they meet and they don't say anything, so presumably not. So I think there's just another, like an alien story just inserted into this.
Weird.
I have no idea what the point of it is, but I suppose I would if I kept watching, which I won't. Any thoughts, Digi?
I just rewatched the episode in full while skipping through because I was like,
yeah, sure.
I know I watched this. I do not remember anything. And so rewatching it, I'm like, this seems pretty okay. Like, yeah, I get it. It is a story about two girls doing things. I like the aspect of like they're like delinquents.
Yeah. Oh, that was actually kind of like a little dark because it's so realistic. They really harp on how like the two are like feeding off each other's like bad behavior, and like I was like, oh good, there's a friend here, or the other friends are getting involved. They'll all kind of like heal each other and get more sociable and feel better about themselves. But they're like, no, we're gonna remove ourselves more and more from everyone else and like spiral down and like cut class.
Well, they're in high school, that's what everyone does anyway. So it's like, it's true. They're not gonna like say, oh no, you're morally bad. Well, I guess in other shows it would have, but I don't know.
It's because it's so realistic. Exactly. Feels a little more serious.
I felt it worked.
But if I was gonna watch a show with strong lesbian overtones, I'd just watch the Inuyasha sequel because that's also got incest packaged right in. So I might as well go.
It's like the perfect show. Oh my god.
I feel like for me, in terms of like what I've seen this season, it hit the two notes that I want the best, which is the sort of the tone and that it sets, and having a focus primarily on characters, which is usually what I'm interested in. Because a lot of these shows fucking open with a boring ass nonsense action scene before even introducing you to the cast. And there's like the soundtrack and sound design in particular I was really into, and it spends a lot of time just setting this like the atmosphere of every like environment that they're in. Was particularly what I was most like invested in. Like it really just like soaks itself in the sort of setting, and these like two characters just being like, you can feel the like, I don't know how to describe it, like the emotion of the space that they are occupying in is like what it's trying to communicate.
Interesting.
It's well done if that's your kind of thing.
I definitely could feel that with the opening bit where they're up in the rafters, like the idea that like it's memorable that you're in this particularly odd spot of like a place that would be familiar otherwise. It's like what makes it fun, it's just like we're in a mysterious spot trying not to be seen and we're together. This is all all going to be in my memory,
I know they spend a lot of time in that space, but like it's a little funny how prominent like the ping pong metaphor or connection seems to be in like the opening and stuff, and I'm like expecting this to hard pivot into like a ping pong world champion
Let's
tour
go.
where the
I'd be
just
down
doubles
for it.
go
I'd
for
be
the
down.
gold.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, and the alien's gonna like grant him like super ping pong powers.
Oh my
or something.
god!
That's
Episode
all gonna
3
come together.
switches genres entirely. That would be amazing.
I'm down for it. Hey,
this for me is just
speaking,
like an odd case of just like no particular element of this show is bad, but it doesn't congeal for me into something like the character designs look good, the backgrounds are well detailed, but they don't quite fit together perfectly, and there's always just kind of a sense of aesthetic offness, or like, and the pacing is just like a little bit too slow for me. It's just like that kind of feeling that this is a show that there's nothing wrong with, but it's not for me.
Makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, speaking of pivoting on genre or whatever, I'm claiming this one. I want to tell you about a little show called Munou na Nana, or The Talentless Nana. Hey folks, let me give you a little spoiler warning right now and give you the quick version. We recommend this show, and you should definitely go watch at least episode 1 before listening to this if you care about spoilers. Okay, and go. All right. So, you heard of a show called Boku no Hero Academia, and a little author thought to himself, hey, that's pretty cool. What if I just do exactly the same story again and make all the characters exactly the same? Oh my god, it fucking sucks. It's so bad. These characters are at a fucking school. They're just learning how to do their powers. Oh, they're gonna go fight miscellaneous aliens. Oh my god, I don't care. What's that? There's a new transfer student? Oh, she's a cute girl and she can read minds. Oh, fascinating. What? There's another one who's like kind of a jerk. Great, I'm so pivoting. Oh, but luckily we have our amazing fucking emotional journey over episode 1 where a main character boy learns to use his power and embrace destiny, and he's gonna become a good hero boy, and he made friends along the way. How exciting. And then, my bitch, Nana, pulls a fucking 180 and fucking murders him. She murders the main character, straight up, right then, because it's not about protecting the Earth from devastation and uniting the peoples within one nation. It's about killing every single superpowered motherfucker from Boku no Hero Academia, because if children had actual world-changing superpowers, they wouldn't just be made heroes. They wouldn't just be sent out into the world to do stuff, because they're fucking children and they're retarded and they're irresponsible and they will get people killed. So my bitch Nana is here to murder every single last one of them as a child soldier of vengeance, and it's fucking awesome, because the enemies of humanity, they don't exist. It's actually just these superpowered children that went absolutely wild. So the government, the world, this entire school, every character here has been duped. They've all been assembled in one place so they can be picked off one by one by Nana, who doesn't even have a superpower. Her mind-reading tech is actually just fucking basic awareness so that she can go incognito and murder every single one of these fucking mutant freaks and make America great again.
God
so
damn.
This is, okay, I'm just going to lay it out there. This is the best show of the season. I was fucking compelled. I could not stop watching up to episode 3, and I'm fucking dying for more, because this is the most compelling fucking heel turn of a show I've seen in a long time. And unlike something like Decadence, this has legs. It's based on a manga with like 7 volumes already out, and I fucking loved it. What did you guys think?
Shit, I wish I watched it.
You didn't watch? Oh, I just spoiled
pitch,
it for you.
Dude. No, I'm gonna watch it now because I wasn't planning on watching it. But the spoiler of it, that should
dude,
make me wanna
episode
watch.
1 is like I was sitting there shitting and coming out of pure boredom the entire time, because it was just My Hero Academia and it fucking sucked. But I was literally being the small-brained idiot, the fucking rube being manipulated. Exactly as the show wanted, and the fucking reveal at the end. And it's not just that it's a reveal in episode 1, it's that the show completely changes into something way more interesting and actually good, because let me just tell you, she kills the main character episode 1. Look, he's probably going to come back, right? It was a little mysterious. He might survive. Episode 2, she kills another guy, and that guy's fucking dead. There's not that many more students. She's going to be killing these guys left, right, and center, because they're a danger to the fucking planet Earth. This show is fucking awesome. Yeah, it's great. It's great. So did you guys watch it either?
I did.
No, me and Jack most
did. Okay, good. What'd you think?
I watched the first episode. I am glad that you said it stays good, because this is one of those things where, because of the fact that it's so hinged on the final twist, it leaves you like, okay, well, what's the show actually going to be like then?
That's why I had to keep watching to know. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really solid twist. I wasn't quite as like put off at the start that I hadn't immediately thought of My Hero Academia because it kind of reminded me of Assassination Classroom even more than
I was gonna say.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the main character.
But the character's at a school. They have superpowers. The main character has green hair. He's studious. He's exactly like Deku. And this came out 2 years after My Hero Academia premiered. I think it's intentional, personally. But
yeah, I guess it was a really solid twist in that I didn't assume that the main character had a power secretly that was going to come out. It's like it presents it as this is a guy with no powers. Everybody else has powers.
Yeah.
But he's not presented like Deku, who desperately wants to be a hero and have powers and all that. He's just kind of like a sad boy about the fact that he's like, why am I fucking even here when everybody else here has powers? And so when she shows up and she says, I can read minds, but I can't read the room very well. So this is her way of saying that she it's really interesting because it's basically saying please be patient, I have autism hat. But
yeah, pretty much.
But she uses this kind of as an excuse to just ask questions, right? Because she's supposedly, I can read minds and I'm socially awkward, she'll just accuse people of things and just get them to kind of agree with stuff maybe they weren't thinking.
In case I didn't clarify before, I just want to make it clear. The main character dude is basically dead. Nana is the main character, and the true narrative is watching her put on a face to pretend that she's a nice ditzy cute girl or whatever, while actually being a cold-blooded assassinating psychopath who has already killed people, or at least tried really, really hard. So she is a fucking
militant.
killer.
She is she's like Goblin Slayer of fucking heroes.
Yeah.
Jesus, all right.
Her parents have been murdered by these kind of people, so she is out for fucking blood.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, this sounds super interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so throughout the first episode, I was kind of looking at it as just maybe I couldn't tell if these were the main characters, if this was going to be an ensemble show, more like Assassination Classroom, how many of these people are going to be explored.
Dude, the shit is Death Note. It's become Death Note.
It's much more like that. And so it was. Again, it was a blindsiding revelation because the whole first episode has an arc of this main character, going from not having powers to through the process of conversation, sort of realizing that, and this is particularly interesting, the power that he seemingly has is leadership. That he is going to be somebody who can be the leader of all these guys. That's why she takes him out first.
Well, by the way, let's just insert one piece of lore here. She has access to, the government is sending her information on her, classmates, saying the projected death totals if this person's, allowed to grow. So where are they coming up with that? I don't know exactly, but that's what she's working off
Jesus,
of.
okay.
Right. Well, so, because this guy would have been the one who would have, organized and rallied the rest of them at some point and, been some kind of great... Which is why it's highly suspicious that he might come back and then do all of this, fulfill all these promises.
Yeah, I think he'll come back. It's weird, though.
Because he's going to want revenge on the bitch who fucking killed his ass, I
mean, it's understandable. But the fact that, they have that kind of information... I actually thought that this was just actually the plot of the Terminator, that she was sent back in time to prevent awful things from happening. There is a time traveler who is dealt with in episode 2, but I think it's not that at all. It's just that bad things happened, and there's some contrivances in the plot for sure. So once you know past the twist. These are all students who have been brought to this island in a world several decades out from a giant war that happened when, when people like this, people with their powers, went crazy and massacred much of the planet, and the remaining governments, orchestrated schools like this to quarantine them and, euthanize them, basically, as fast as possible to make sure that they don't do it again. That being the case, why are these kids so oblivious to like their potential fate here? You know, those are reasonable questions to ask. I'm wondering those things too. But
nuke the room, like.
Well, they're not. Well, see, that's the other thing. The kids are innocent, and they don't want to hurt anybody right now. But we do see their powers like already getting a little carried away in episode 1 here and there. They could absolutely kill people. So the
government
they're relying on genre tropes a little bit.
It's just her who wants to kill them.
No one else is a murderer except for her, and she's doing it for her own brand of justice. Yes. Okay, but the others are just foolish kids.
Why does she have information from the government?
She is directly working for the government to basically be the euthanizing person against these kids.
So they do want them.
They're whole here to be killed. That's the whole point.
Okay, well you said that they didn't want to kill them.
Well, if I did, I misspoke. But the government wants these people dead. That's the whole point of them being.
Why
on
don't
the
they
island.
just nuke the room?
I thought you meant why don't the other kids just like use their powers really strongly to nuke it?
No, why doesn't the government just nuke the room with all the kids in it?
They do address that briefly. It's because these powers are unpredictable. Actually, they say at one point, there was one of these kids with powers who had the power to control microorganisms within his own body. When they went to capture him, maybe a nuke would do a better job. That power escalated so fast, it instantly became a giant world-ending virus that came directly from this man, and it almost destroyed like this entire city. So they nuked the city to keep the virus from spreading any further.
Shit.
So they're willing to do it if they can do it. But like obviously it's the setting of the story. They've determined the best way, the least like casualty inducing, is to have agents like Nana like gain their trust and like euthanize them once she can get in close and stuff. But she has to like, the premise is all the kids are pretty secretive about their powers except the stupid ones. So she has to learn their powers, figure out a plan to murder them, and then execute it without being caught or revealing who she is, or she'll get killed. And also, if word gets out what she's doing, the kids might go nuclear and like start terrorizing the whole fucking planet. So there's a lot riding on this mission, and I'm really interested in seeing where it goes. I was fucking compelled. This, more than any show in like a couple years, I could not stop from going to the next episode and seeing like what the fuck. I'm dying to see what happens next episode.
Hell yeah.
It's good. It's fucking good.
I'm sold.
Maybe I'll put a thing at the beginning that says, spoilers, please watch episode 1 before listening to this. We'll see. That's strong recommendation for me.
I enjoyed it. Next up is Kami-tachi ni Hirowareta Otoko, or By the Grace of the Gods. This is the one where the kids got slimes.
Yep.
This one. Yeah.
That's it.
I guess I think I remember this well enough to describe it. So the main character we're introduced to this 11-year-old kid living in the woods in a fantasy world with a house with 100 slimes in it. And the slimes in this world, if you make them eat stuff, then they will like basically evolve to reflect the thing that you give them to do. So you can like make them do household chores or develop venoms and shit. He's just like experimenting with slimes basically. And we learn that this kid is a reborn soul of a Japanese man, of course. But unlike most isekai where it's some incel, this is like some big buff muscle dude who was working like a normie job and like fucking dies from sneezing apparently. And
he hit his head and ruptured some fucking blood vessels while sneezing while asleep.
So he was like, he's very chill about it because he was like, I was probably gonna die soon from overwork because he was like very overworked.
Jesus Christ.
When he finds out he died, but yeah, he died. I think they specifically say, like they describe, he while sleeping sneezed 4 times and from that fell over and hit his head, and that caused him to have to fucking die just from that.
Correct.
He was 39 years old.
Stupid ass motherfucker.
Led a life of misfortune. It is described on the Wikipedia. But yeah, so he reincarnates with the mission of be himself and enjoy life. So this is similar to a slimy Sekai, which is also obviously has slimes. We have like an older character being reborn in like a relaxing, slow-paced isekai setting. So I think these deserve to be considered like Iyashikei isekais. Like they're
for sure,
healing shows. Sure. This is for 39-year-old dudes who are like on the verge of death from overwork. Trying way too hard to be everything all the time. And now you can use 100 slimes to be everything all the time for you while you chill in a house in the woods. So the kid
I wish to be the little boy.
Yeah,
Please,
exactly.
God, make it happen.
I wish to be the little boy, not the little girl. I mean, you can see on the cover art that he is surrounded by cute girls at some point.
Yep.
Not cute girls his age, older women, of course, like full, regular anime.
There's one
chicks.
his age, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, the blonde girl.
They give you the spread, Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This seems wholesome. The first episode plot is basically that like a bunch of knights kind of stumble upon this kid and are very suspicious of the fact that he hangs out with monsters and shit. But ultimately he feeds them a sob story about why he's out in the woods, and they're all like super concerned, like, we want you to come back to town, don't live in the woods, it's fucking dangerous. And he's just like, nah dude, it's chill, I got this. And then I don't remember what happens later in the episode.
That's because the show is mind-numbingly boring. Is I think the point you're trying to get to.
That shit was nothing. That shit was nothing. Holy shit.
Very slow.
Yeah.
I suppose if you enjoyed it, like, really too relaxed, fair enough. But, like, I could barely keep my fucking eyes open watching this thing.
Nah.
I mean, the premise is the gods normally isekai you for some grand purpose. They explicitly state, like, we have to isekai someone, but, like, we're literally just like you. So we're just going to reborn you so you can literally relax and have fun. That's it.
Yeah,
that's the entire premise.
I think if I remember correctly, the premise is, like, the human world has magic, but no one uses it. And they have a limited supply of magic. So when they isekai people, they just, like, they isekai them, and then they take magic from the human world and just, like bring it over to their world, because it
doesn't even seem like they need to isekai humans at all, and they're just doing this. I don't know why.
This is Reparations, the show. This is like this is your 40 acres and a mule that you get. It's like 100 slimes in a house in the woods and surrounded by bays, and you get to be a kid again. Like this is basically the what's it called in Islam? The place with all the virgins. When you die.
Heaven? I don't know.
Yeah, true, actually.
I don't know.
Okay, well, next up on our list is Iwakakeru Sport Climbing Girls.
Oh. Jack, describe it.
Okay, this one I was hype. I saw the trailers. I'm like, big-breasted women doing sports. Dumbbell was cool. Let's go. Yep. Sad. It was ugly. It's a show about this girl. She was a gamer at one point. She's in high school. Yeah. She wants to make some friends. She sees this one girl rock climbing. There's a giant rock climbing wall in her school. I'm like, damn, this is a nice ass school. That'd be cool to have a rock climbing wall. And then she passes by. They have boring dialogue conversation, and then it gets to a point where they race, and then it's rock climbing with cute girls that aren't very cute. That's the show. Yeah.
You're underselling the main point that the show is sponsored and produced by Autism Awareness. And that the puzzle motif is everywhere. And the main character girl, I mean, she does the thing. She's okay. All right, you got a gamer girl, right? Her fucking Candy Crush scores are off the charts. She's literally won championships of Candy Crush or Bejeweled or whatever the fuck.
Maybe both.
And she's got to climb this fucking rock wall. What? Climbing things? I don't understand. Wait. Do I see Candy Crush connections in the wall? I'll just link the connections of the spheres. Now it all makes sense to me.
That scene
doesn't make sense.
Terrible.
No.
Holy shit. She's like leaping like horizontally between the rocks. I'm like, what are you? Like
she's a spider monkey.
But autism is what explains it.
I mean, on the one hand,
reveal was that she's not even a real gamer because she plays mobile games.
Oh shit! Women destroyed for all time by Jack and Core TM licensed out fucking statement by the team here. On the one hand, I love that gamers are being celebrated for their great achievements in society. As if we bring our full weight to bear on any other chosen subject matter, you fucking watch out. because we will take it over, as you can see in the sports climbing world.
Obviously. Oh my.
On the other hand, this show fucking sucked and was, very painful to watch.
I mean, not only is it fucking hideous, this show is ugly. It is so ugly. It is fucking. It's
pretty ugly.
Disgusting.
I did it. I came from muscly girls. There's the second girl who's muscly, and I like that. That's rare. And I'm like, okay, all right, I see what you're doing here. I even like the main girl's just generic big titty thing. All right, I can vibe with that. But I mean, you watch for 2 seconds and you're like, well, like my life is slipping away. Why am I doing this?
What am I doing here?
I would say there were like 10 seconds of worthwhile animation in this show that you could watch on Sakugabooru.
The first moment when she looks up at the big rock wall and is like, what? And then you see the overlay. It turns into Bejeweled before you're
that is hilarious.
Yeah,
that's looking through my eyes at the world, people. That's what it's like.
It's so funny how seriously all the characters take sport climbing. Like, it's just like it's so lame.
We've reached the bottom of the barrel of cute girls doing activity. This is like the lowest I've seen possibly ever.
The fact that they have muscles is the appeal, I think.
I agree.
Well, all right.
And the main girl, I mean, the gamer girl doesn't even have muscles, so what's the fucking point?
Not
Tits?
yet.
I could fucking, I mean, I want to see her get some hulked out, but I could risk be reading Danbaru for that. I mean, Danbaru is great, and the anime is good. I checked out the manga for this just because I was curious if it's, like, way better. Like, it's kind of sloppy. It's okay. It's a little not great, but it itself isn't anything to write home about, so I think this is another one. They're like, all right, what's cheap? What can we adapt and fucking, make a little bit of money off of?
Right,
Sport girls.
Let me tell you about
Tsukuraima?
a much better show called Kuma 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 Bear.
Yeah.
This is a show about a girl in a bear outfit.
A little bit.
Yes, I enjoyed this show because the girl in the bear suit is fucking adorable.
Oh, dude,
Holy
no.
shit.
Me too. She was so cute.
She
was so cute.
fucking adorable. It's a girl.
What's your fucking problem, Core? We don't stand for this shit, all right? You're gonna get banned. You'll go right where Dune-kun is right now, and you don't want that.
You're out of here, bro.
No, she is hot.
Let me list all the reasons.
My only thought.
One, she has really cool shade of green hair that twists up. She has a big Genki smile, but upturned eyes. She's got a bear outfit on at all times and bear hand puppets on at all times as well, in addition to the bear outfit. And her voice is really interesting. She's voiced by someone called Kawase Maki, who I've never heard of. She has not been in many things. It's a very naturalistic performance. She sounds more like a real Japanese teenager than anime usually does.
Well, how about the fact that she is a fucking millionaire day trader instead of going to high school? They just slid that.
Wait, I don't think I
did. You?
Yeah,
I thought you would fucking love it. She's literally Leafy in real life. She just is on the fucking she's shorting.
This is the greatest anime character of all time. Period.
Yeah, she just slips her parents like 30 million yen to go on vacation because she's just got it in her portfolio. She is a fucking. She's flipping hardcore.
Holy shit. And
it's
so
awesome.
So she day trades and makes a shitload of money and spends all her time inside of an MMO, just helping people out, being cool. Yeah, helping NPCs, I think.
Gamers are rising up. Yeah, I don't know why she cares about the NPCs so much, but
well, it seems like they are. I guess they just have really good AI because they act like people, like. Functionally, I was confused at first because at the start of the show I was thinking this was like more of a Log Horizon type situation, but the NPCs are literally real, or like this is just based on. No, she is playing a video game.
Wait, but the thing is, episode 2 it becomes like a Log Horizon thing, or rather, it becomes more of a dot hack thing because only she is like stuck inside.
So she gets trapped in the game.
She gets trapped in. Yeah,
I see.
I can't wait to watch more because I don't. Even care what the plot like the plot of episode 1 is not interesting. She helps an NPC. Who cares? She's in a bear outfit the whole time and she rides around on big old bears. It's so goddamn adorable.
I can understand this, Digi. I can understand this sentiment. She is the cutest girl ever, but this is a problem I've noticed. I feel like a lot of shows this season where there's like this, the main girl is so cute and it's the best, but everything around it is generic fantasy annoying bullshit. So that's like I was really turned off by this show. I wish they showed more of her personality in the first episode because her character design is like is so great with like the
you
bear
gotta
and
with
shit.
one like this. Okay, the gimmick is cute. Not a lot of substance to it. It's all gonna ride on like if the ensemble cast like is decent and like gives good chemistry. Which
I
we'll
don't
see.
even
We'll see how that
care
goes.
if this show. I don't care if I ever see any more of it. It's already justified its
Yeah.
existence wholly to me. Like, I would buy a figure of this character based on what I know now and nothing else. So
I wish I felt the same. I wish.
She's a day
I want a
trader,
fucking figure of her like doing like, with her
millionaire
big
high
spreadsheets
school
open
girl
on her screen.
who wears a
Yeah.
bear outfit and helps out NPCs. Like, if I could pick any anime character that I was just like, if you could trade your life with an anime character right now, instantly, Yuna from Kuma Bear. I want to be a millionaire day trader who hangs out in a bear outfit and plays VR MMOs all day. That sounds awesome.
Hell yeah.
Good luck, Yuna.
My main thing is I'm just so fucking tired of all these game like isekai or isekai light kind of anime where the game does not look fun. This game looks like dog shit. Why would anyone play this ever? It looks so bad.
This is a show in particular. They spent zero time developing like the actual game because it's not about that. It's about how her suit is just overpowered. That's all we need to know.
No, that's the thing. I realized very quickly because they have like a fight scene, but they don't set up what her powers or limitations are, so you just know she's not going to have any trouble with this obstacle.
They insert that like this is like a VR MMO, so like that doesn't exist in real life. What the fuck does that look like? It could be anything. You're literally Goku in the thing. I don't know. There's just no rules, so like you're not gonna get much technical fucking enjoyment out of analyzing this. Like I don't know, like Shield Hero has some of that that's kind of cool, or any of those
that's what I was
shows.
thinking of.
I just think Core and I have been isekai'd out. I don't know. Well, this isn't even an isekai, but it's like
completely fair. Like that is
yeah.
Not even remotely like I don't think this is a great show. I literally stopped paying attention to what was happening and was just like bears.
Nah,
good.
when I was watching Assault Lily this season, I had the exact same like thing. Like I didn't know what was going on at all in that show, but then I was just like, these girls are hot. Like this is the greatest show ever made. Like
that was pretty much the conversation that was had about that show.
Hell yeah.
All right, speaking of things I don't remember at all. King's Raid, Ishio, whatever the fuck. Does anyone remember the plot?
I gave up on this.
I watched that.
God.
Yeah.
Did I?
Oh god.
Jack. Yeah, go on, Jack.
Shit, let me Google it. Give me a sec.
It's been 100 years since King Kyle buried Aang Mundo. Now in a time of peace, there's a knight. He's like training. They fight some dark elves. Racism is maybe going on. That's
I remember. There's a bit of racism.
Did I watch this?
I think what
Yes.
happened
I think
with
the dark
this
elves
show,
are actually all bad though, so good racism, I guess, in this show. I could be wrong.
this is
I think this might be my
It was just
favorite
like-
pro-racism show.
I was just watching this and I was like, this is just the most generic fantasy bullshit. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess one worthwhile thing is that there's like one fight. There's like it's like I like that it's kind of edgy. That's funny. I laughed when the guy's head got like chopped off or whatever happened.
That was all right.
The fight scene, because I think the show's not that great looking, but there was one fight scene that had some cool animation, and that is legitimately the only information that I retained about this show.
This show. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Remember it?
existed. This existed like in life. I watched it. That stuff happened. Yeah. There was action.
I know that I started this show up right away. It was like some really bad looking dumb action scene, and I was like, okay, this is going to be bad. Like the OP played, I was like, this is going to be the worst. And then right after the OP was like a bunch of old dudes sitting around having a conversation about the plot, and I was just like, nah.
I'm out.
This is not. This is the most obviously bad show that I saw, other than that other one I said of the season.
That I also forgot.
All
right. Yeah, there it is. There's your recommendation for that.
King's Raid, great show.
Check it out.
Senkyo no Sigfrida Valkyrie something.
Oh, this one.
Okay.
Or did you want to tell us?
Oh, this was the one with
whoever.
the 45-minute first episode.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
yeah.
I can introduce this. I watched this with Jack and another friend, and we were blazing through these, and I see 45-minute episode, bullshit name that you can't pronounce, and I'm like, this is going to be the most painful thing I've ever experienced. Surprisingly, it was not, but the plot of it is, like, so these weird alien creatures are attacking Earth, and fucking Odin gives them magic, like 1920s planes that they use to fight the aliens.
Hey, have you guys ever seen a show called Strike Witches, or a show called Sky Girls, or a show called Can Cole, or a show called what was that really weird Anje Vierge? It's all of those. It's another show where girls fight over the ocean against nondescript weird alien things that don't have a personality. Therefore, it's just about girls being cute and talking in planes.
The issue is the girls are cute, and I like their personalities. But the action scenes are long and boring.
And ugly.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, they're not great. I just didn't get much out of it, you know.
The girls, I was in love with them. I was in love with the sassy one, the white hair one.
Yeah, the white haired one is.
There's one that's apparently voiced by the same voice actor as Luluko, who's like insanely cute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the white hair one. Yeah. No, oh my god. Because it goes from like these terrible action scenes where we're like skipping through it, like Core's like skipping through this like the action scenes because it's just planes shooting beams. I'm like, I don't want to see planes shooting beams today. And then it goes to these fun slice of life moments. The girls are cheery, they have personality, and then they just have to ruin it. It's like each scene is contrasting in quality, and it was very sad.
Okay, so also, why was this episode 45 minutes? There was not a single thing about it that
I
needed
just
to be
figured
45
out.
minutes long.
I just figured out why. You're gonna be fucking mind blown by this, because the guy who is writing this show is the creator of ReZero.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Weird. This is just Strike Witches.
But this is, I mean, you know, I don't love ReZero, but that's way better than this most of the time.
Well, this show like takes so long to get to the point. Like, I feel like ReZero establishes pretty much everything. With a decent amount of like brevity.
Really straightforward for sure.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not pay a lot of attention as soon as I saw what was going on in this.
But the girls are cute, Nate. You gotta pay attention to them.
I'm fucking gay.
I don't remember if I actually watched all 45 minutes of this fucking thing.
I did not.
I will.
Quick.
I'm gonna be hounding Pixiv, and that's about where my opinion of this show is.
All right, let's talk about a show I actually remember being decent. Does anybody want to describe Taisou Zamurai?
I will describe Taisou Zamurai. So this is a show about a guy who is a Olympic-level gymnast, but frankly, he won a bronze medal and a silver medal for Japan, and frankly, he's just getting older. And you know, your body wears out. When he's 29 now, so that's pretty old for like an Olympic-level athlete. And he's got a daughter. So he's got to think about her future. His wife is tragically dead, which is real sad. And he's advised by his coach, like, hey, Chief, your shoulder's hurting, you're getting kind of fucked up. I just don't know if this makes a lot of sense. You should really be thinking about your exit plan for basically just caring for your daughter and making sure that she's got a good life because she's dependent on you, Chief. And so through some wacky shenanigans, he's like gonna break the news to his daughter. He's grappling with this issue. But through some chance encounters with some epic level gymnast guys who may or may not be border jumpers into Japan, he just reevaluates and is like, fuck being responsible. I'm going to keep doing this shit, and I'm just going to keep trying to go get the gold and be... he's had some failures recently. He's had a couple of injuries, so he's feeling low, but he redoubles his resolve. And, I watched, like, the second episode, too. He's resolved to just, like, give it one final try. It's basically Rocky. This is just Rocky, but he has a daughter and a dead wife, and he's trying to go the distance one final time. And I don't know. Really, it's really just kind of like a heartwarming, just like Rocky. It's literally Rocky, only for gymnasts. Of like, you know, wanting to like do right by his daughter,
with the insertion of like
honor his sister's mother or his
pretty boy
wife.
Ninja character who's also
well, that's like his muse. He's the one who inspires him to do this shit. And
No.
What do you think?
I was just very surprised because when it I tuned out like when it opened with the shitty CGI. Like he's on the beam, I'm like, oh fuck, it's another one of these. But then like the characters were actually good and fun and charming. I like
wasn't obnoxious
the
at all,
parental
like I
relationship.
expected.
Also, like all of the male characters in the show are really attractive. I think that's worth noting.
Indeed.
Like it's just very like I could definitely see myself enjoying this show like later episodes. I'm interested in seeing.
The main character's mom looks really cool. She's got
she's cool.
High fashion.
That's got to be his stepmom, or no, his mother-in-law, because she's the same hair color as his wife.
Well, she has the same last name as him, and it says his mom
maybe he took
now.
his wife's name.
I question that. Oh, she is a famous actress who he met and married because he was an Olympian athlete. So I like that they're like, yeah, that's why he was able to get a top bitch like this. So they're just making it crystal clear for you fellas.
Yeah,
have accomplishments.
The daughter's adorable. And obviously the daughter and mom do not want him to quit. They like he's giving his speech about like even though he tries to keep it a secret from everybody, they've already figured it out and they're watching the announcement and they're like disappointed that he might give up. But then he has a literal flashback of like putting his medal on his daughter's neck when she was like a baby, and he's like, I can't give up. I love that like it wasn't like even though what has like you said, his muse is this ninja who's showed up and is probably gonna
his new gay lover,
assumably help
Leonardo.
him teach the class with him and stuff. But it's not like thinking about that guy that makes him turn around. It's thinking about putting the bronze medal on his daughter. Just a really good, powerful, emotional type of scene. That you
a strong father dynamic always hits me right in the right spot to make me want to see him and make her proud and shit.
I just thought it was so great that it wasn't a callback in that moment. That like there was a new like we had not seen this already in putting this thing on his daughter's neck. Like it was.
You're right.
But we were built up to it emotionally in such a way that like as soon as we see it, we know exactly what's going on, and we're like, oh,
that was like
shit,
the first scene we see the wife animated, so it like really hits hard. Yeah.
That is good storytelling there. And,
that's a really wholesome, very, very wholesome show. I liked it a lot.
Reminds me a lot of Sweetness and Lightning a little bit in episode 1.
Yeah, just daddy-daughter stuff.
I think this is more interesting than that because this actually has a plot. And that show is
this is emotionally compelling, and I really want him to succeed. And I don't know, it's like an anime original thing. It's Mappa, so it's pretty good
also,
looking.
The daughter's a lot older, so she's not going to be. It's not as much about taking care of the kid as it is about retiring or trying not to retire, trying to go out with a bang, so to speak.
The world of the athlete, or like this situation as perceived by an athlete as opposed to a coach, like every athlete. I mean, as you can see, they say at the end of like the second episode when he like convinces the coach to train him and stuff. The dude's like, listen, we're not gonna lie to ourselves. Like, you are 29. This is like ancient. You are on your last fucking legs. We've got to like find ways for you to overcome these like natural. Like you're past your peak and you're fighting people who are like 19, 20, 21, and you've got to be realistic about that. And he's just like, I'll do whatever it takes, man. But of course that's what like an athlete says, but a coach has to be a little wiser. That's why I really liked, there was one scene, I think in episode 1, where when he first says, when the coach first says like, hey, you should retire. I've been trying to tell you to think about retiring for like years. And then we get that flashback of the coach, like in all these different ways, saying like, you should think about retiring. You should think about retiring. I don't know. So something about that scene and how like every time it was perceived in like not the right way by the dad. It's just like, it's got to be so scary to devote yourself like physically to one thing specifically, and then just naturally you will not be able to do it forever. Like just I don't know, that's kind of like a scary thing to dedicate your life to. So I really felt it in that. And all in all, this was just like pretty strongly emotional, and I want to see where it goes, and it was really, really good.
Yeah,
I'll see more.
Especially it being original means like you're gonna get like hopefully a pretty tightly packed story that has a solid
conclusion.
Like, even if he fucking loses or whatever. I mean, Rocky lost in the first Rocky, and you know what? It was about becoming a champ on the inside, not on the outside. And he's gonna definitely do that at least.
You're damn right.
I want to see him hang that fucking gold medal on his daughter's fucking neck so bad, and they smile looking at their mother's grave and know they made her fucking proud in hell where she's burning because she committed tax fraud.
True.
And that's why she was killed by the government. They didn't go into that detail, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate.
That's in the manga. Yeah.
Good show. Worth watching. Hopefully it stays good.
Hell yeah.
All right, another show, Ochikobore Fruit Tart. Who enjoyed this the way I did? I know I did.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, no.
I watched it, but I was more mid on it.
Well, I mean, you can describe it if you want. I mean, fuck, no, I'll go in. I'll just tell you that because I liked it.
Yeah.
It's a show about idols, and I don't care about the plot whatsoever, but the art was really good. Hey, I'll tell you this. Studio Feel animated this one, and the director is the same man who directed Oshiete Galko-chan. And I fucking guessed that shit because it's got all these fun little I don't know, like graphic art details and reminded me a lot of Galko. I don't know, like this actually is way more animated than Galko. Like, sure, it is a idol show. It's really boring in terms of the actual plot. It's an adaptation of a manga, but this had a lot of love put into it. And like, whereas something like Love Live, I want to kill myself when I start putting on an episode, at least of like the, there's one this season, there's a new Love Live. I wanted to kill myself even thinking of watching that. They say the original's good. Okay, fine. But
I mean, also this show has good character design, so.
Yeah, this had fresh characters. I like their personalities. I mean, I really liked, what was her name? Roko or something? One of the characters is like this little like girl who was a child actor, and that's the other thing. They all have skills besides just trying to be idols. And actually, in a way, it's a little bit predatory, and that like the one I'm thinking of, the short one, wants to be an actress, but because she's living in this dormitory, they're just like, listen, you gotta be an idol, honey. That's what all the kids are into. You can't be following your dreams unless you get an idol. And I don't know, like they go through like the dreams of some of them. There's the tall one with the big tits. Guess what her skill is, lads? We literally get a roll call of all the skills of the characters. Hers is quite literally that she has big tits and nothing else. It played exactly that straight. But the actress, like Lolly girl, she we see like a flashback. Our main character girl like recognizes her from a broccoli commercial that she did when she was a kid that she was like forced to do even as she got older. I don't know. It was really cute. And I really liked her personality, but let's not lie to ourselves that this is like anything exciting or interesting or dynamic. It's just people being cute, doing idol shit. And I normally hate idol shit. But it's just attractive enough, and I like the personalities enough for it to not be totally awful.
Manga
it's got
from
life.
The same author as Hana Yamata, if anyone remembers that show.
I don't.
Well,
I don't.
It was a show about girls dancing, but not like this, a different type of dancing.
I remember not watching it, but thinking the OP was good.
Well,
yeah. There's a lot of energy in it. Also, one other note: they literally work for Rat Productions, and they live in Mouse House.
This show,
epic.
I remember. Well, the main girl also has like gigantic Mickey Mouse ear, fucking hairballs. I guess she's not the main girl, but like, it's kind of an ensemble. I mean, this show, the fact that the character designs are really fucking good is like the main appeal. I mean, the girl with the big buns is obviously like, personality wise, she's the cutest. She's also the most like iconic or memorable design. The blonde haired girl is just like fucking mind blowing.
I hold a guitar.
Adorable. But it's like there's cute girls. They say jokes. This is similar to Comic Girls, which came out a couple years ago, but not as good. So it left. I've seen so fucking many shows like this that even ones that are pretty okay that like I could see watching the entire thing, it's still just like it's just gonna melt away in my mind into the comparisons to other better shows.
This actually like gave me, for me, it reminded me of a seasonal called Slow Start, which had good animation, fairly cute girls, but watching it just kind of felt like my brain was melting.
That was
like,
how I felt with that show too.
It just doesn't. There's not enough that grabs me. Like it didn't really make me feel anything, and I need that. I need like to be super compelled with a cute girl show to really want to watch that much of it.
I mean, just to reiterate the point. I mean, I really liked the aesthetic of this. That like I would theoretically consider just like putting it on and just not paying much attention to it and looking over, except that I can't do that with anime ever. You have to be engaged because I can't fucking understand Japanese, so there's basically no chance that'll happen.
I mean, that hurts a lot. There's definitely a ton of anime that I would just passively consume in the background if I understood Japanese. But does that mean that those anime are good? No. So, like, would that be
Depends
a better
on your
use of my
definition,
time to have on than anything else I have on currently? No. Like, it won't be any better than playing YouTube videos in the background. I just would watch more anime.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, next show. Oh, actually, did you guys watch that A3? Because it turned out, I think that's like a sequel.
That's the sequel, isn't it?
I made it through the first half before thinking, like, why the fuck am I watching this?
This is called A3 Season Autumn and Winter. There was an A3 Season Summer and Fall or something.
This had confused me. Yes, so there was originally A3 Season Spring and Summer. And it was a show that it had started in January and ran till June, but I'm pretty sure that it had some kind of like interruption. I don't know if it was a coronavirus thing or if like the show just had performed really badly and got relaunched or something. So I thought that was what this was that it was the relaunched version of we were just putting it back out. That was why I was interested in watching it. Did not realize it was a sequel, but that makes sense. But the first episode really is just about introducing like 2 new characters, I guess, and then the story is going to be about them.
Yeah, I remembered watching the first season, I guess. Yeah, because I forgot this was part of the season. Yeah, I remember watching the first episode of the first season, and I was like, I'm staying away from this. Well,
the first episode of the first season was really awful. So this was a better first episode than that. Like,
was it?
My thinking as watching it was like because I thought this was just like a redone version of the original. I was like, oh, they just changed the first episode entirely, and now it's better. Not that it's good. It's a pretty boys. It's a show about pretty boys doing acting. It has like more plot and character than usual for a pretty boys doing a thing show. Like it feels more like a real show, but not so much so that it's worth watching at all. That would be my review.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, no, the first season I remember hating, so I stayed far away from this one. I ran.
Fair.
All right.
Well,
I want to introduce this next one.
Please.
So Maesetsu is about this group of kids who seem to be trying to run some sort of stand-up.
Aren't they actually post-high school?
Do comedy.
Okay, never mind.
Do comedy. But particularly the main episode focuses on what I assume is going to be probably the driving character. She's more sort of Genki. And she has this one gag that she does every time when they open for other people. Because they do the opening act and they do like in the beginning of the show, they do like a thing where they're just playing mock instruments, like playing along, like air guitar type shit.
People fucking love that shit.
But she does a bit and it bombs. And what is revealed over the course of this episode is that every time she tries the same bit, and it always bombs, even with her family. But then there's a grand development as she does the bit for the second time for one of the teacher people, and she laughs because she's like, it's so fucking stupid, but she keeps doing it. And then she realizes she can make the bit work if she just keeps doing it. And the problem is the show is not funny at all. This is a show about comedians, and it's not funny in the slightest. I didn't even smile the entire episode.
I loved this show.
Well, okay, hang on. Let me just first ask. So my first thought was like, these characters like look familiar, and then I go to the Mal page, and I'm like, okay, these looks exactly like Lucky Star.
Yeah.
And then I watch the fucking show, and they reference fucking Konata Izumi as the first. That's the gag, and so I'm like, what is the fucking connection here? Because I could not find one. Is that person related in some way?
It's the same creator.
Yes,
made by the same guy.
Of the mangaka.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that settles it. I tried to figure that out, and I couldn't do it, but I guess you did it, so good job.
Now. But yeah, this show caught me by surprise because I did think that her joke was hilarious because it was Konata Izumi.
I bet you fucking went, I know who Konata Izumi is.
Well, it was specifically Konata Izumi doing an impression of Shin-chan, doing an impression of an elevator door opening, which is... I mean, yes, the fact that I even can understand this joke is a big part of what makes it funny to me. I got all those references.
I did. That did something for me.
It was just kind of like, what? I mean, I laughed in that kind of like, what in the flying fuck did I just hear kind of way. I thought it was really fucking funny that they were trying to like create a marketing gimmick around the joke that is effective and would work. And the way that their conversations just turn into comedy bits is it consistently got me. Like they're just having normal like Lucky Star conversations, or like maybe getting a little bit emotional, and then somebody fucking flips it and it becomes a joke, and it's
Did it bother you at all though, Digi, how much uglier this is than Lucky Star? Because that was a big problem for me.
I love the character designs. Really liked them.
Korjak, please agree with me. You've got to agree with me.
I'm looking at these characters, and it just looks like discount Lucky Star to me.
Right?
Every character.
That's not a problem. Lucky Star has like my favorite character designs.
Yeah, Lucky Star
does look
design not a problem.
Nice. I'm talking about the animation moment to moment. I mean, Lucky Star is fucking KyoAni. He's fucking gorgeous.
I will say, I watched this in 2x speed. I might...
Well, there. Okay, all right.
I might just watch.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm considering just watching everything in 2x speed because I think I like anime more that way. It's just,
I get it.
It's easier to pay attention. It's easier to follow what's happening. I did feel with this show that like I had fucked up the timing on some of the jokes, but I still thought about them and thought they were funny.
Okay.
Not that I laughed because I went, oh shit, the timing on that should have been like this. But it would have been funny if it had been. So it was like that kind of feeling. I think, I don't know, maybe this is just this show and I are on the same autism level or something. But I
kind of want to see the next episode, because the next episode's like, it's called something different, and it makes me think that like they're gonna explore like different entertainment styles. And well, I didn't like love the first episode. I thought it was like kind of interesting.
I think I was captivated
know.
by the chemistry of the two main characters because of the fact that the blue-haired girl like is pretending to be dumb a lot of the time, like as her joke, but she's not. Like she pretends to be like the airheaded glasses girl, but it's as a joke. And like there's a part, the way she's sort of introduced is like main character girl who is just like, you know, firing on all cylinders, energetic, and she's not funny as a stand-up comedian, but she is funny as a manzai duo with blue-haired girl because she, you know, they just have good chemistry together. So like there's a, you know, scene where she says, maybe I just need to leave a longer pause, and then the blue-haired girl just stares at her for like 30 seconds and goes, like that? And she's like,
I like that. That was amusing.
No, that kind of stuff. The way that again the conversations just flow into jokes always made me laugh. And this is, I mean, I'm not surprised. I guess that you guys don't like because it has like a 5.6 on Mal and is at the bottom of the chart in popularity.
Man, I don't fucking know.
I was shocked
how
though.
Good
like,
or bad
I literally
this
watched
shit
this and I was like, "What the fuck? This is my favorite one of all the fucking shit that we watched today."
Yeah. I wanted it to be good. I was just like, I don't know. It didn't do it for me, but like I kind of want to keep watching out of curiosity. Just the fact that it's from Lucky Star Man is
which, in
enough
fairness,
for
the
me to be
Lucky
like,
Star manga is not that good. Like the anime improves it significantly, being Kyoto Animation. So like,
that was my thoughts, and source material for KyoAni adaptations is not necessarily a like.
Right.
In it of itself gonna be a seller.
If I could just look at a show, as I do, when I look at Blue Girl, I just like see Lucky Star. So even if I can just kind of be like, Lucky Star lives. It's getting a little more life via this fucking character design. I don't know. Even that does something for me. Maybe I'm fucking crazy.
It's funny because like I too had that feeling of like because they referenced Lucky Star and it kind of looked like Lucky Star.
They
I was
knew
like,
what they were
it must
doing,
be like the same author, right? But I couldn't quite tell because it doesn't quite look like it. But I don't know. I really like the character designs. This is just a show I could fucking emptily stare at and giggle at and be fully entertained. And Yeah, it kept my attention better than any of that other fucking bullshit we talked about.
Yeah, well, this was a fucking pretty dry-ass batch of fucking shows we just sat through.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that might happen. Like, when I was putting the list together in the first place, I was like, it weirdly seems like all the good stuff happened to fall on the first day, just going by images.
Kind of, yeah, a little bit. Well, I don't know.
Exactly.
Oh, Noblesse was here, and I mean, Noblesse was
the good stuff.
Yeah,
That
okay.
We did
Quality,
that.
All we need
vampires.
is just watch the Noblesse episode like 12 times. The first episode
Yeah.
On 4
specifically.
times speed, and it'll be fine.
That's all you need.
Apparently, I'm looking on Mal. The what is it? Maesetsu. The same director is directing Kuma Bear this season. So he's directing 2 shows I don't like. So damn. He's really throwing pulling all stops.
He's listening to this right now. He's like, oh, famous anime reviewer Jack is boy doesn't like. Oh, I'm gonna fucking. Kill
I'm
myself.
so sorry, Nobuta. I'm so
suicide.
sorry. I love you, Nobuta. You.
So I guess out of everything from this batch, like, Munou no Nana is the only one I could actually see us covering on KHANTENT, right? Like,
I don't even remember which one that is. I'm
that's
scrolling
one
up
you
to
like.
find it. Yes, right. Yes. Look, there's a lot of shows. Yes, I am fascinated by Munou no Nana and would like to talk more about it personally. Yes. It might drop off. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, but I'm saying start with strong, and it set itself up, I think, in a healthy way to
I
keep
just
going.
can't
So,
imagine covering any of the other shows from this batch. Like, that's the only one from this batch I could even see try. Like, from the first batch,
I agree.
You got like Jujutsu Kaisen's Possible.
Jujutsu, yeah.
I really like Majo no Tabi Tabi, and the day I became
Sleepy
God.
Princess, maybe? I don't know.
I can't see having things to say about that. I think between Munou no, like, my top candidates would be Munou no Nana, Jujutsu Kaisen, Majo no Tabi Tabi, and Kami-sama ni Natahi. They're all
I would make you a bet. If we did Majo no Tabi Tabi, I think it would be by far the least popular thing that we did.
That show is like the second most popular show on, though.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's the witch
Well,
Other than all
okay,
these
it's
sequels.
7th apparently.
It goes
other than the
Jujutsu
sequels,
Kaisen,
yeah, okay.
Tonikaku Kawaii, Majo no Tabi Tabi, if we're not counting sequels. So,
Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe
and
I'm
then
wrong.
Noblesse.
And then Noblesse. So you can't go by people. Well, it's not about quality, right? It's about this is KHANTENT. We are not about quality.
Yeah, if it was
not
about
the
quality, Noblesse would be number 1.
Truth.
You're right.
Well,
I guess we're done.
yeah, I guess that's
other,
it. Any final thoughts? Did
how about
you guys have
Jack and Core?
favorites or least favorites?
Yeah, did you have favorites?
Favorites? I'm looking at this list. I don't know if I like the gay one a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you'd watch Munou no Nana, you fucking troglodyte
Yeah,
idiots.
I'll probably like
Yeah,
that one.
definitely.
Check that shit out.
The samurai one was pretty wholesome. That one was okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Anime
that one was good.
is okay.
Anime is bad.
Anime is
At
bad.
At the least, I feel like this season was less like unbearably ugly compared to last season.
This
like,
is-
there
I mean-
was more good animation and stuff. but-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Last season was
I
yucky.
mean, you guys weren't here for day one, but there was a lot of way better shows the first day.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah, because we watched a bunch of them just for our
animation
channel.
quality has definitely gone up, like, compared to before. I don't know. Maybe it's just coronavirus gave people time or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I don't know. 'Cause so many things were delayed. Yeah.
Well,
I guess that's gonna do it, boys and girls. That's it for fucking this season's initial wrap up of the first couple episodes of all the goddamn seasonal shows. Of course, you should go watch the first episode if you haven't seen it. But luckily, we got playlists in there, or not playlists, fucking time codes. You can skip to whatever piece of shit show you want to go check out. You fucking asshole.
let us know what
but
shows
support
you
our-
would be most excited for us to cover from the season in the comments below.
Indeed. And support our hard work on KHANTENT by going to subscribestar.com/KHANTENT. Bonus episodes for $10, but we'll take any amount that you want to give us. That's free. All right. Thanks for being here, everybody. See you next
Hell
time.
yeah.
Cord, Jack,
Bye-bye.
thanks for being here. Yeah. They've got their stuff. Go watch all their crazy stuff.
Linked
Go
below.
bully Anitubers like Jack on his channel.
Indeed.
And go talk about anime like Core does. Oh, and of course, Jack and Core, the combined channel. of the
Subscribe.
Dynamic
Subscribe
duo.
to Jack and Core. There you go.
Go do it.
Click the link on screen.
After you subscribe to KHANTENT.
All right.
All right, we'll see you next time, everybody. Let's do one of these. It's KHANTENT.
KHANTENT.
Hey. All right, see you next time. Goodbye.